Hey, welcome. Today we're going to talk about what we're calling the architect's edge. Basically, how you can use AI to make your project planning faster, a whole lot smarter, and yeah, just way less of a headache.
Seriously, just take a second and think about this. What if you could hammer out the first solid draft of a really complex project plan in, I don't know, minutes instead of days? What would you do with all that extra time? Look, this isn't some science fiction idea anymore. It's something we can actually do right now.
All right, first things first, let's talk about something I'm sure we've all felt, the project planning headache.
Oh man, we have all been there, right? You're just staring at that blank screen, that empty document, and you know you have to somehow map out every single task, every deliverable, every milestone. It's always been this slow, super tedious process. And that blank page, it can be a total creativity killer before you even start.
So what's the fix for this? Well, that brings us to the really exciting part. Thinking of AI as your new first draft assistant. Now, if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. It's a simple idea. AI creates the first draft, you create the final plan. This isn't about AI taking over. Not at all. It's about a brand new, really powerful partnership. Right, so it's super important to get this relationship right in your head. Don't think of AI as some magic box that just spits out a perfect, finished plan. Nope. Think of it more like your co-pilot, or maybe a thinking partner. Its job is to handle all that initial grunt work, the structuring, the populating, which frees you up to do the real strategic thinking.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how does this actually work? Let's get practical and talk about building your project's foundation.
So, the foundation for pretty much any solid project is what's called a work breakdown structure, or WBS. All that really is a way of taking a massive project and just breaking it down into smaller, bite-sized pieces. It's how you make sure nothing gets missed, and it's basically the bedrock for all your scheduling and cost estimates later on.
And look how simple it is to get started. You can just give the AI a prompt like this. You're telling it its role. You're a senior project manager. You're giving it clear context, an office relocation for 200 staff. Suddenly, a task that could have taken you hours of brainstorming now has a first draft in literally seconds. And this right here, this is that partnership in action. The AI, it's amazing at providing a comprehensive structure and generating that draft in no time flat. But, and this is a big but, its work is totally useless without you. Your job is to bring that crucial local knowledge, to check the plan against what's actually possible in your company, and to fine-tune all those little details that only a real human expert would ever know. All right, so we've got that foundational WBS. Now we can use that exact same technique to build out the entire project plan. Now, to get a really good, high-quality plan out of the AI, there are basically 3 keys. First, you've got to describe your project's context really well. Second, be sure to include any constraints you already know about, like a fixed budget or a non-negotiable deadline. And third, tell it which methodology you want to use, whether it's agile, waterfall, or something else. Nailing these 3 things is what turns a generic plan into a perfectly tailored starting point for you. And you know what? This technique isn't just for the main project plan. It works for pretty much all of your key documents, speeding up the whole process.
Just think about all the other bottlenecks when you're setting up a project. AI can help with requirements gathering by drafting up discovery questions for you to use in stakeholder interviews. It can take a simple idea and flesh it out into a draft project charter, complete with a business case and a starting budget. It can even whip up a list of major milestones and help you spot any gaps. It's just a massive time saver across the board.
But, and I really can't say this enough, the AI has zero clue about your company's culture, or your stakeholders' weird quirks, or office politics. That's where you are absolutely irreplaceable. Your expertise is what provides all that human context. You're the one who has to validate everything against how things actually get done in the real world.
And that really brings us to our final and maybe the most important idea here, seeing this technology as your AI thinking partner.
So at the end of the day, this architect's edge we're talking about, it has nothing to do with letting AI take over your job. It's all about this powerful partnership. It's about letting technology handle the boring, repetitive stuff so you can focus on the parts that really matter.
And really, this is the ultimate payoff. You are finally free from the tyranny of the blank page. Your time, your brain power, it's not being wasted on just getting started anymore. Instead, you get to jump straight into the high-value work that truly needs your expertise. The strategy, the refinement, and the validation.
Look, the technology is here. Your AI assistant is ready and waiting.
So really, the only question left is, what are you going to build together?